it's certainly good to catch up with you and have this little chat. I mean, there's so much to talk about, but let's talk about Confession first. It's
Absolutely
a hell of a film, and really pretty much torn out of today's headlines.
When you think that we shot it almost 3 years ago,
yeah,
and that's Dana Hansen. You got to talk about Dana Hansen, the director, on this when you deal with this. Wonderful, gentle-handed, understanding female director, but who's a woman who and Sarah brought the project to her. I think, as far as I know, the genesis of this. Sarah Hay brought it to Dana. When it was sent to me, I read it and I thought, look, I do a lot of very large budget films. I do these huge budget films where I go out and get either. In the old days, I used to be the guy that killed everybody. Now I'm usually the sheriff that gets killed second in the film. But and they're very large budget films and stuff, so I can think it affects my ability to affect distribution, which allows me to do films like this and get behind stuff that I like. And I don't do a lot of press. I really don't like press. I don't like stoking the financial machinery around entertainment stuff. But this project, I really believe in. I really, it's important. Do you have kids?
I do. In fact, I have grandkids, and
then I've got 2 daughters, and I've been telling this today. I've told it a couple of times that when our youngest was 14, I thought I should have the conversation with her about dating. Yeah. And we sitting at the kitchen table, and she, in the middle of it, was very patient with me. She said, "Dad, what did they teach you in sex class, in like health class, when you were in high school?" I said, "How to, wear protective contraception and not to get sexually transmitted disease, not get girls pregnant and stuff like that." And she goes, yeah, it's pretty much the same now. I said, okay. And she says, "You know what I'm taught?" I said, "What?" She said, "I'm taught how not to get raped." And I went, "What?" She says, "Dad, it's been going on for years and years and years. Women are taught how to wear their hair down and not in a ponytail. If you're going to be out at night in formal clothing or formal shoes, high heels, wear a pair of flat shoes with you so you can run in them if you're going to be by yourself. Stay away from dark parking lots, dark alleys. Stay in well-lit areas, the fact that my daughter was at the age where she had to go around and prioritize people when she was on her own and stuff. How to hold on to her drink in public, don't leave it anywhere, and if you do, get another one, that sort of thing. And it kind of, there's literally, I've been saying, like the scales started falling from my eyes. So when this subject matter came up, and I thought, we're not bully pulpiting, hammering this subject. It's an entertaining murder mystery, some other stuff. There's a lot of duality going on in this story. Very well couched and written, and but underneath it, it's hopefully a champion for people that have not considered the subject matter before, male and female, but mostly male. I have an acquaintance of mine got raped a few years back. And talking with her and stuff, she said she called the police and went to the emergency ward. And while she was there, she got a female doctor who asked her what she was wearing, what she had she been drinking, was she under any influences, and why she was there alone. I mean, she vilified the victim. So it's not just men; it's society in general. I think has to look at the idea that date rape. It just frustrates me that we have to address this in this way, And I think we did a pretty good job. Dana did a phenomenal job in this film.
You have a wonderful cast of incredible actors supporting all of this, and it's a wonderful. How can I put it? It's explained in such a way that it's undeniable. I mean, it's
and the character
script.
Absolutely, and the character I play is somebody who is that kind of inflexible kind of detective who's at the end of his career. Excuse me.
Sure.
Hold on. I just finished 3.5 years of chemo for cancer, and one of the offshoots, I've still got a dry throat from it. But I play a character who's very inflexible, who has this case that what I see as a politically motivated, aggressive assistant DA that's played by Clark Backel, who wants to reopen and maybe investigate it. And I'm thinking, why are we doing this? It's like, it's on the shelf, it was looked into. So I play this lockdown character who, through the arc of the film, becomes a champion for the cause and realizes mea culpa that he had seen it with a set of blinders on. And that's the audience. I thought when I looked at it, this is the character that's the audience we're trying to reach. You know, we're not trying to build. We want people to understand. We want, like that female doctor in that emergency ward who was dealing with my friend, who said, "Were you drinking? What were you wearing? What did you expect?" You know what I mean? And that. It's a wonderful, wonderful piece. When I read it, I thought, this has got to be done. This has got to be done.
Well, and you look at it also with the eyes of a scriptwriter as well, because
Yes, I did. Yes.
But again, what a masterful movie. We only got a few minutes left, and I did want to tell you that Scanners was the first movie I ever bought on VHS.
1979-80 is when we shot it. I think it came out in 81.
81, yeah.
Yeah, that's 42 years ago.
And you and I have originally met on the junket for Starship Troopers.
Oh, really? Were you at the hotel in Los Angeles?
Yep. Was it the Four Seasons?
Were you with me when I was with Jake Busey?
Jake, yeah.
I remember Jake, and I said, before we went in for those press, I said to Jake, if you lie or stretch the truth, I'll call you out in front of the press. Yeah. And he said, well, what do you mean? And I said, if you try and make this where you're the star of this film, I'll bust your balls and leave your dick on the table. And he was like, begrudgingly goes in, you know. And that was interesting. That Paul Verhoeven's one of my favorite directors.
Yeah, mine too.
I've worked with about 300 of them. But Paul's definitely in charge of the ship when he's telling a story.
Michael, I want to talk to you for several hours, but we can't. You're an incredible actor and one of my favorite guys, and I appreciate your time this morning.
As a single mom, I want to make sure my kids have healthy teeth. Going to the dentist can be expensive. Just a simple cleaning can cost over $100. Then I found TDA. And for about $1 a day, Total Dental Administrators covers my family on over 200 dental procedures. Whether you're an individual, a family, self-employed, or retired, your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these policies. Call or click for your free information kit and see how affordable dental health can be.
Congratulations on Alaska Daily. It is just a wonderful powerhouse of a show.
Thank you. All the journalists seem to love it. They may be a little biased, but getting great feedback.
Well, I grew up on great movies about journalism, things like, 30 and, of course, Lou Grant back in the day. And, in talking about how newspapers are still one of the lifebloods of the country, and even in small rural areas, how much they rely on the local papers.
Yeah, my first job was delivering papers when I was in elementary school, so I've been connected for a while.
You've been working since you were 5 years old, and
I had my first TV show at 9, so it's been a while.
The character of Roz she's such a layered character and a wonderful character. First of all, I mean, was it always on the page? And how much do you add to Roz as an actor?
I try to approach every role I do with authenticity. I really believe that if you don't bring a piece of yourself, it's not a real character. So I have to still follow what's on the page, especially when it comes to journalism, especially when it comes to, playing a character like this. But at the same time, the writers or, directors don't necessarily understand completely my lived experiences as a Native woman. So I try to find that balance, really follow the character that's been written for me, but also make sure to bring in those layers that bring Roz to life.
And on a more serious note, I mean, the series does a great deal and has a great deal of empathy for Native American women that are, just disappearing and continues, to talk about it.
Yeah, that's what really drew me to this role. I've always wanted to tell stories that matter. I've always wanted to portray characters that are going to create change. And that's what Alaska Daily does. I mean, it tackles stories on missing and murdered Indigenous women, which is very close to my heart. It's very, important to my communities. And so to be able to share that on network television, I think it's incredible.
And in working with, I always call her just a, international treasure, Hilary Swank. She is just an amazing scene partner, I would imagine.
Oh, working with Hilary, it's so fascinating. I mean, watching her work, I try not to, get too lost in the scene, because just watching her choices, watching the way she makes it seem so easy. And I think that's what's so beautiful is, she puts so much work into it, but at the end of the day, it's also about being really present. And so when I'm in a scene with her and we're connecting, we're just there. We're in it.
Does that give and take come from your theater background in working with like one person at a time and doing scenes like that?
I think that, it takes working with better actors. It takes working with people who have more experience than you to remind you to be present. Otherwise, it's just two people in their heads, two talking heads, rather than really experiencing and feeling, because that's where the magic happens. And I think I definitely learned that in training with some incredible teachers. But at the end of the day, it's just reminding yourself to honestly be in your breath and in your body.
We feel that as an audience too. I mean, as in watching the series, whenever you and Hilary are sharing a scene, it really feels real, because you guys are, in the moment and in the truth of that scene.
Well, and that's the thing about acting is, yes, it's the words are written for us. Yes, we're playing, people that are other than ourselves, but there also has to be so much truth to it. Otherwise, what's the point? And so there is, and with Alaska Daily, there's so many themes that are so prevalent and real to us today.
And we're winding down season 1. Has there been talk of season 2 yet?
Well, we all talk about it a lot. Our group chat is firing. We're bugging Tom McCarthy, we're bugging our producers regularly, but none of us know. We hope that our followers and our fans continue supporting us, because we appreciate it so much. And I would be so happy to be able to do this all again.
Are you surprised at the amount of fans that are following the show?
Going into it, I think we were all very humble, knowing that this could go over people's heads. It might be too real, but the fact that I'm getting so many messages across North America from people either going, I'm glad that people are finally talking about MMIW, or the other half of people who are going, I had no idea. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for bringing this message to my TV. So I'm grateful either way.
Yeah, I love the fact that we learn something every episode. There's something new for us to absorb, and it's done in such a way. Your writers are brilliant.
Our writing room is phenomenal. They all came to set for their episodes, so the writers were there. they were open, they were willing to, they're like, maybe this didn't work, let's try this. Or we would say, what do you think about this? And they'd go, absolutely, let's do it. It was such a collaboration. I think that's important to have everyone's voices heard.
All the best to you. I'm such a fan of yours. I'm gushing like a schoolgirl right now, but you are a very powerful and wonderful actress. And as my mother would say, you're in the right business.
Yes. Thank you. I love to hear that.
Well, thank you for your time. And again, Alaska Daily, it's such a great show. And the entire cast is just like watching a well-formed orchestra.
I agree. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Rob, as I live and breathe, there you are.
Hey, good to be with you.
First of all, I do want to congratulate you on 911 Lone Star. It's just a great show.
Thank you. I'm loving doing it. We're halfway through our 4th season, as you know. Starting to film our season finale in about a week and a half, and cooking up something really special for the end of the year.
And this character that you play in Unstable, I mean, this is not like anything you've ever played before. This guy is just, he's unstable.
He's unstable, hence the title. I mean, my son John Owen started trolling me pretty hardcore, just murdering me on my Instagram and Twitter, and people started paying attention to it, and it became kind of a viral thing, and people liked it so much that he and I were like, we should make a show about this. And really that was the basis of the show, and came up with some great characters, and the next thing you know, we have Unstable.
Yeah, but he must be such a fun character to play. I mean, after a lifetime of playing some heavies and other things. Wow. It's
a great look. The fact that I can do Lone Star and Unstable, go back and forth, is an actor's dream, to do drama and then comedy. And when I finished my run on Parks and Recreation, I really missed, and then I did a show called The Grinder that I loved that did not run for very long, but I was looking to do a true character, a comedy character, not a leading man comedy, not a romantic like a character, crazy, larger than life. And I found it. Well, I co-created it. I had to do it myself, but I got it.
And how is that hat, working for you too? The kind of executive producer, co-creator.
I like it because it enables me to sort of use every club in the bag. I've been doing it a long time. I love acting, but I've done it a lot, so I get to learn more about how to run a show. Spend time in the editing room, which is really where the show is made. And it's just really fulfilling in a way that acting is not. Acting's fulfilling, but it's one job. This is every job.
Your cast has got to be a gift from God. I mean, Fred and everybody that's in this, on the outskirts of your character, it must be just a wonderful, wonderful shoot day every time you're in front of the cameras.
It's like summer camp. We just come to the set, we make each other laugh. Like, if I can make Fred Armisen laugh, it's unbelievable. And he makes me laugh every day. And Sean Clifford, who plays my chief of staff, I loved her show Fleabag. She was so funny and amazing in that. And it's a very high caliber of comic actor that is on the show, for sure.
Is there allowed a lot of riffing? I mean, do you do a lot of improv?
We do. I mean, I think the improving really happens in the rehearsals, and then it makes its way into the script. I learned on Parks and Rec, shoot the script, shoot it word perfect, but then do a take that it's for you. We used to call them the fun runs, and we just do whatever we want to do, and sometimes it makes it into the show, and sometimes it doesn't, but it's always amazing, particularly when you're working with somebody like Fred Armisen, who's one of the great improv actors who ever lived.
In our final moments that we have, what do you think audiences are going to take away from watching Unstable?
Well, I think we're living in a moment where there's not a comedy like this out there. This is a comedy like Arrested Development, like 30 Rock, like Parks and Rec. And for whatever reason, they're not really making those right now. And I wanted to make one, and I think if you like those shows, you're going to love this.
Yeah, this is absolutely lovable. Again, thank you so much for your time, Rob. It's great to catch up with you, and congratulations, by the way, on West Wing as well. What a great series that was.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. What is science? Wrong. I'm the man who created the bruiseless avocado.
The legend, Ellis Dragon.
Am I crazy? They called Nikola Tesla crazy. Tesla did lose his mind and fall in love with one of his pigeons, which I would never do, although I do have a hawk. But I'm not attracted to it.
Millions of people are losing their dental coverage every year or can't afford dental care due to the high cost. Just a simple cleaning can cost over $100. But there is an answer, TDA. For about $1 a day, Total Dental Administrators covers over 200 dental procedures. Whether you're an individual, a family, self-employed, or retired, TDA has a plan that's right for you, starting about $1 a day. So call or click for your free information kit and see how affordable dental health can be.